Good. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans and Lake Charles coming at you with another live camp, from the heart of the beast, Babylon, the great America. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors
To Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe, make brothers enduring to the end, and to the very few sincere Akwat out there diligently learning in science. Shalom.
Shalom.
And we're gonna get straight into it with 1 Corinthians 4 and 9. My brother got that.
It says, for I think that our power has set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed the death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
And I'm going to get that word spectacle in the time.
It's the word spectacle in the Strong's. It says, theatre, like theater, yeah. It says a theater, a place in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited, and public assembly held for the Greeks used the theater also as a forum, a public show, a man who is exhibited to be gazed at and made sport of.
And we brought this out because they got a little plaque on this brick wall behind us saying this used to be called the Arcade Theater. And in Lake Charles here, they said a bunch of performers from out of town would come here specifically to perform for the town. And hey, as we went into that word theater, a place of in which games and dramatic spectacles are exhibited, and it says a metaphor, a man who is exhibited to be gazed and made sport of, or a public show. And as it said, for I think that the Most High has set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle, a theatron, unto the world, and to angels, and to men. And hey, it only makes sense that the men of the Lord, are bringing out this word in the theater right now, this public place, because what? This is a public show and a public condemnation on Babylon the Great, America, and the great judgment that's about to come upon it. And the brother here was saying, what were you saying about the river back there?
So basically, right here, where we at, right behind us. All right, every year, like summertime, is an event, right, called Contraband. And what do they do? They basically give praise and have like a celebration to God by the name of John Lafitte. He used to import contraband, and really the contraband and things that they were bringing in, it was importing jakes. Right here where we at the port.
And they had and then they built this thing called the Arcade Theater here. So what? Jake was brought as a public spectacle, to be sold as contraband. So that's how Jake got to America. And it only makes sense that the prophets are here, prophesying where Jake was brought into slaves to what? Prophesy the downfall of this place.
That same Gene Lafitte dude, me and the other brother from Lafayette, we were running by him one day. The same, because originally, back in the day, Lafayette was originally in the Garden District of New Orleans until the Gene Lafitte dude decided to move the town to Lafayette. But he ain't nothing but a goddamn devil too, man. This history all throughout this state. Like I said, we can easily drive 5, 10 to 20 minutes away and run into a plantation. Right? At the plantation where they get married there, they having parties, all types of shit there, man. But these rivers like this brother went into these rivers here that run off the Mississippi, they tell the story of how they used to run Jake with these boats up and down as harbors to bring Jake in, all right? Because New Orleans was the main hub, all right? And they set these 3 guys up by the name of Albert Pike was one. We had John Slidell and Judah Benjamin. I think the dude's name was Judah Benjamin or some shit. Jacob Benjamin. This roughly paraphrase. You can probably find him. But them guys was set up over that whole slave trade situation, man. Right, and they bringing Jake all throughout the South, man. Right, Lake Charles, Lafayette, right? New Orleans, Baton Rouge. Those are that whole I-10. You know, it was used to run Jake up and down. Even in Mississippi, they run from here to then into the Canadas, man. You know, they was running Jake all in St. Louis to Chicago. They're coming from here. Yeah, Judah Benjamin. Yeah, I had his name right. You know, yeah, you got it.
Could you give me that real quick? Boys got it.
This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 24. It says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity. It says, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
Hey, again, that Theatron made a public spectacle. Jake was made a public spectacle when he was brought in chains to serve as slavery in America. You know, when we were on our way here, the elder brother was talking about how on a place in New Orleans called the Riverwalk, they used to have the chains along the Riverwalk to where when Jake got off the ships, you know, they would chain him there so what? Everybody could look at him.
You know, shackle them to the ground in lines, man. I remember being a young boy going on a field trip around the place called Congo Square. Congo Square. You know, going back to the Congos of Africa. They showed around the Congo Square. They used to have these hitches on the ground. They used to put Jake and chain Jake up until they get finished numbering them, head counts and shit. But it shows you, like we're gonna do God willing in the future, we're gonna do it on location at it, right? Because when we used to walk the camp, a block or two and a half the camp, we used to have a building. They still got the old writings from time of slavery on it saying the cotton exchange, man. The slaves used to exchange the cotton for wages and money, man, for the slave master. Right along with what it is, called the hotel, Omni Hotel. You got the old slave sign with the one with Emmett Till on it. You got that one? Yeah, with that picture that the apostles got with Emmett Till on it, you see Emmett Till to the right, you have that picture to the left of the auction blocks, like they up there bidding for them. That actual picture was taken in New Orleans, man. At the Omni Hotel.
The lady that actually was a white woman, she lives out here in Sulphur.
Westlake.
Westlake, yeah, right here in Westlake, like 10 minutes away. Just that. You know, and they just recently came out and said that it was her.
Yeah.
The festival shit.
Yeah, but she was checking out. She only had fucking weeks to live. I think she died. She recently died, man. That damn devil.
She's just waiting to come back. She's gonna be Emmett Till slave in the kingdom.
She's gonna be Emmett Till.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna make her look like Emmett Till.
Get that bloody face. But as I said, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, Jake being made a spectacle, being brought in here for slavery, so shall they shortly see your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. And you know, that's beginning right now. The apostles, the disciples, the prophets being set up last to be made a spectacle before the world and before men and before angels. In the very same places where Jake was serving hardcore slavery, you got the prophets saying, look, we went in for our own transgressions and now it's your turn to go into slavery and for us to see your fall. And you're going to be made a spectacle in the kingdom when you get those cold iron chains slapped on you. Did you read me that verse 25?
This Luke 4:25, it says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. It says, from thine enemy have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck.
Hey, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. The faith and the patience of the saints, as it says in Revelation 13, time. For thine enemy has persecuted thee. He that killeth with the sword, he that leadeth into captivity. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. And right now we're seeing Esau and America's destruction happening in real time. The economy's on the verge of collapse. This country's going to go into World War III. There's going to be civil unrest. And then what? Yahweh God's going to make his second coming to save his elect. Shoot those nukes onto this place, cracking open that golden dome, which Trump was talking about. And then when the dust settles, what? Then, you know, the fun begins. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. It's going to be time for the reverse slave trade. But I know you can go. You got it.
No, this Joel 3, verse 5. Let me read on 7. It says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it to your temples, my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, it says, and they have cast that, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink.
And hey, that fits these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially these so-called Negroes to a T. When you look at the history of our people, boys were literally sold to harlots. You know, they got that scene in Goodbye Uncle Tom where you had that sodomite rubbing up those young boys with that gold paint. And then, you know, you had a Jake down in the South who was used as a breeder. They just had him sleep with hundreds of women a day just to, you know, create more slaves.
I just read into something. They had actual plantations where they used to harvest pigs like cattle just to eat them. They was eating so-called Negroes, man.
Yeah, that book called The Delectable Negro.
Yeah, they was eating pigs, man. Do you hear me? Edomites were eating so-called Negroes here in America, man. Cannibalism, right? Making couches, chairs, and belts and lamps out of their skin, shoes out of their skin, man. Even removing the teeth out of their mouth and put in their mouths, man.
Yeah, well, organs are performance.
That's
That's a major
amazing.
thing. You know,
Like the truth, something like this. The truth is actually true.
yeah.
According to the Bible.
They put ostriches on big horses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one guy that they killed at that school and they put him in their rug.
Yeah, I know you're talking
When
about.
they opened up, when they did the autopsy, they opened up the body and just had newspaper in there.
Yeah, because on the black market, I went into that last night on a video. All right, and that's the plans of these elites according to House Bill 1247 or 1274, I believe. All right, the guillotine provision. Then the guillotine provision, all right, they're looking to push the execution of these so-called Americans, all right, through the guillotine to basically preserve your organs, man. And especially who has the biggest and most healthiest organs of all the 18 nations? The 12 tribes, man. So you're gonna be the main people on that list to get your head chopped off, man. You got the biggest, strongest heart, lungs, kidneys, spleen, right? Eyeballs, all that shit is a lot of money on the black market, man. Who runs the black market? These devils, these elites, all right?
Got something to back you up. This is that book, The Delectable Negro, which came out in 2014, and it was written by Vincent Woodward. And the full title is The Delectable Negro, Human Consumption and Homoeroticism Within the U.S. Slave Culture. And in the overview it says, The Delectable Negro explores the homoeroticism of literal, meaning it actually happened, and metaphorical acts of human cannibalism coincident with slavery in the United States.
Yeah, that was going on. They had certain, like I said, you had certain plantations set up for slaves popping other slaves. Well, that's where that term motherfucker comes from because they was actually fucking their mothers, man. All right, their aunts, their close kin. All right, the biggest, strongest buck would do that, man. Then you had plantations where they was just eating Jake. You know, you got cows, you may have them for what 52 months. You know, in 52 months, you gonna slaughter them. But they were doing that with Jake. They would get Jake all fat and plump, let him work, do his thing, and then they eat him. That's the history of the so-called white man here in the South and throughout America, man. But it wasn't just going on in the South; it was going on all throughout America. Right? It's history all throughout this bitch, man.
Just like the Willie Lynch law, the making of a slave.
Yep.
That's still in effect and ultimately embedded within these Edomites. That spirit is in the Edomites, whether you see it now or not. You know, you can't change the spirit. The scriptures say, well, his spirit that is in him is not upright. So that goes through his bloodline. You know? There ain't no such thing as a good Edomite.
No. Only good Edomites are dead Edomites. Right? When you go out, you go to the mid central Louisiana. Hey, you look like you back in time. The attitude of the so-called whites up there It's the same attitude in the 1920s, 1860s, man. They don't like you niggas, man. And that's what a lot of you jakes, you modern YNs, you GMO babies, you gonna find out, right? That the hate still runs strong and deep throughout America, right? Preferably in the South. He the mice can't wait to get on you Jake's ass, man, when all hell breaks loose. What you think they got all this ammunition stored up for? What you think them Edomites, what the fuck you think them Edomites doing? When you in the clubbing, bullshitting, you got Edomites at home making bullets. They got these manual machines where you put the bullet on there, you put the bullet, the top of the bullet, the case, the powder, all that shit on there, they just do this all day. And that thing is spinning around, it's making bullets all day. You niggas in there doing the trip out dance, fucking around, man. Right? Listening to that dog face nigga, Rob 49, Helly. This nigga at home getting it in, man. To kill you. Go ahead,
Because they talk about that in Micah the second chapter. You know, they sleep not up on their bed. They sit up on their beds and think about ways to destroy you niggas.
Yeah, these devils are making pipe bombs, man. What was that fucking Timothy? You was probably young when Timothy Vate. Well, Timothy Vate took out a whole fucking building. Yeah. That devil took out a whole building, huh? You think these Edomites going here fucking around? They got history. Yeah, what's up? Put the heads on, man. But they got history of it's accounts. I know you should say it's accounts where Ku Klux Klan has purposely went join the army to line fields, war tactics, to bring that information home and do what? Train others around them to go to DC Texas, man. Yeah.
Gun officers and only you gotta have invitations to do, man.
Yeah.
The secret shit.
HOA and all that shit. You know, man, that's all ready for them, man. Yeah. Keep the community fight for the what? And ride and kill you fucking jakes, man. They're in agreement with themselves, but they're the auto fighters, like the brother said, he steady making weapons and swords. And they're still in it. Listen, they're in the right spirit. It don't matter what Jake, they need them right there against us. No, y'all was made contrary to us, man. But Jake seeking love, man. We gotta hold hands. No. The hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished.
These devils know they're gonna lock hands with us.
Yeah, they know, and they right mind.
They know it, man.
They right mind, bro.
You got Ezekiel 35 and 5. This is in Ezekiel 21, started 9 by the
This Lamentation chapter 1 and verse 2. It says she weeping sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she had none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is going into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits.
God, and that's the history of our people. For going off and wanting to follow after the heathens, what? The Lord gave us up over to those heathens, these nations that despise us more than anything, especially these Edomites. As it says, Judah is gone into captivity because of the affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. And when we jump to Lamentations 4 and 19, it says what? Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They have pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. Verse 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled. Backing up that Lamentations 1. These persecutors are ultimately talking about these Edomites.
Okay, to match that up, you gotta go Deuteronomy 28 chapter, around the 48, 46, 48 verse. Tell you that, tell you about, you can get it for you, tell you about, that's the same eagle. That's the same guy, man. Represent the same person, same guy.
Traces back to Genesis 2, the 25th chapter. Going to Genesis, the 25th chapter, how Esau Edom was with a cunning hunter. That spirit's still in him, And who he hit a hunt? You Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and natives.
That's why I say further in that Lamentations that the daughter
Jerusalem punishment is accomplished. Because with now, the Lord is starting to chase. It said it shall be like a chase road. Right? The Lord's starting to chase them. The curse is starting to come on them. Deuteronomy 30. So the tide is changing. You're saying the paradigm shift, man. The phoenix not coming out the ashes, baby. Right. You ain't rising no more. All right? They're not gonna fill the city, the face of cities no more, according to the book Isaiah. 14 and 21, man. There ain't no nephew, son, and daughter being cut off, man.
Because that slaughter has already been prepared.
There you go. The Lord is sharpening his sword, man.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Going into the curses that would take place on Jacob for breaking the covenant, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And when people say slavery, the first thing that comes to mind is what? So-called black people with what? Chains around their neck. They don't got a shirt on. They got the chains around their ankles and wrists getting let alone. And as I said back in that Lamentations 1, Judah has gone into servitude and affliction, being in the midst of her enemies, those persecutors, which is going to further elaborate in verse 49. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
It's the same eagle.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And you definitely understand their tongue when they can't speak in Portuguese, Spanish, English. What's another one? And French. Dutch. Right? Because we in Louisiana, they had something called the Louisiana Purchase. English too. English, yeah. And the French mostly conquered here. Right? In this part of the South, man. Louisiana is French.
Yeah, it was the French colony.
Yeah. It's supposed to have been purchased by what his name is, Napoleon.
Yeah, he sold it. He sold it
for $1 million. I think he sold it for about $1 million or something.
And it went from like Louisiana all the way up to whatever that northern state kind.
Canada almost. The whole little script was for that. Go ahead.
Kind. But hey, as Elder Brother was going into, it's getting to the point to where Esau is really going to show them horns towards you Israelites, which is a hatred he's always had. When you look at those that voted for Trump back during these past elections, the majority of these southern states were in red. And we already see the spirit Trump's coming in, taking away DEI, which is mainly affecting you women, which is a beautiful thing, bringing back that old, proud American spirit, which, Trump going to turn against all Americans at the end of the day, but he's rousing up that ancient spirit in you Edomites, which you've had towards our forefathers since Jacob supplanted the blessing and the birthright from your forefather Esau. You got that, Ezekiel?
Oh, I got it.
Kind of get that Ezekiel 35 real quick. 35 and 5.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
God. And when you read up, it said, prophesy against Mount Seir, which just as Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, Mount Seir is a people before it's a place. So this is directed towards you Edomites. And as it said, thou hast had a perpetual hatred. And when you go into that word in the Strongs, in the outline of biblical usage, it says, from antiquity or the past to futurity to the future, everlasting, never ending. So it's ingrained within these Edomites to hate these so-called white people, to hate you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Hey, we know through the scriptures, there's no getting along, man. It's a great gulf fix between us two, right? Genesis, the 25th chapter, tell you that there was two nations in our womb, two manner of people that must be separated. But here you got niggas, all right, you have niggas by the bonfire holding hands, talking about we are the world. All right, you niggas, you bump your fucking heads, man. All right, you can feel the tension. And these times you can feel the tension when you walk in some of the stores with the Edomites, man. Edomites ready to get it on with you niggas, man.
And who's that Jake that just recently stabbed that Edomite at that track meet?
His name was
Carmelo.
Yeah.
There's been a whole. You really saw the tensions build up with that because you had a lot of Jakes, giving him the thumbs up on that and donating damn near $1 million to his GoFundMe. And then in retaliation, you had that Edomite lady, Shiloh Hendricks, that flicked off that 5-year-old Jake boy and called him a nigger. And she raised nearly $100 million. And it created this whole new hashtag out here called Black Fatigue, where these people out here, these Edomites especially, are getting sick of you Jakes and this ghetto culture you show. But really, that just goes back to them hating you Jakes all the time. Now they're just able to more vocalize it.
Yeah, the tension. What we say out? The tension is thicker than a German guard dog, man.
Slide
The Nazi era, man. The tension is like from the Nazi era. You can see it. You know? We tired of fucking with you, Jake. We tired of fucking with you niggas, man.
Men of the Lord got black fatigue.
We hate fucking with you, Jakes, man. There's a number of problems with you. Right? But this devil, he ready to get it on, man. Right? That's why he gonna pay. He paid over the 10 to 20 million, 20 to 20,000 over the asking price for the house just to get from around you, man. You know? Look what they do. They actually what they call it, gatekeeping. Gatekeeping even when you fill out your application, they sit there. Tyrone Jenkins? No. Lakeisha McCray?
Praise your house lower than the value than it's actually worth.
They were proving Jake. And Jake got his white friend to actually act like he's selling his house, and the house went over the amount that he was asking. But when he was doing it was below, way below.
That's why when you see like in certain not certain, all of them, in suburban areas where you got a good estate at, every time Jake move where he might at, the niggas leave. They go. They go. They got their little neighborhood watch. Hey, you see the black guys come in? They kicking rocks.
White flight is what they call it.
Yeah. And because hey man, Jake gonna play loud music. Jake gonna have them hoes fighting outside the house, stabbing tires up. Right, having a world star moment.
Trash all in the front yard.
Trash, pit bulls shitting, glass, Jordans hanging on the goddamn power lines, you name it, man. And them niggas gonna be standing outside the car, smoking that weed, man. All night. The car and truck is running. And they might have a nigga or two come through and shoot the place up if you're not watching.
Keisha get that Section 8 money and move into a nice place.
Oh yeah, if Keisha get that Section 8 money, or that she get that voucher movie in the neighborhood, she gonna run a complete meat factory out that house, man. You gonna have niggas coming out there galore, man. All right,
Trapping out there, man.
trapping and everything.
A lot of dislocated jaws.
Yeah. Doing hair, niggas gonna be selling icebergs, nachos, you name it. Pills, you name it, man. They would call
Ice
it
cream.
I was thinking about ice cream.
Yeah, man. Them niggas is sick, man.
That nigga Ryan Wade just shot up his girlfriend car with the neighbors. He shooting all over them by the neighbors and shit, man. 14 times, man. The neighbor called the police on his ass, man.
They had that nigga on the lineup. That nigga was 6 foot 330.
Nah, he was 5'7". 5'7", 370. Yeah.
I said,
He
God.
looked like a bomb.
Nigga said he was built like a bomb. God damn, bro.
The neighbors called it on his disturbing. Bought one of them houses over there by Edom, called the police on his ass.
You that big and fat, you can't put your finger on the trigger. Your finger too big. Squeeze the goddamn trigger, man. Fuck that. Yeah, that nigga is always big. Whoa! You tripping, man.
Kind of. But you Jakes, as Apostle Tahar always says, you Jakes have just been living in the West too long. You really bought this Kool-Aid that everybody can come and be together and just live that American dream. When you just look at our condition, with each successive generation, things get worse and worse. And you would think it would dawn on you that this place is not meant for you. As it says in Micah 2 verse 10, arise and depart, but this is not your rest. And then you have the prophets out here, again, being that spectacle under the world, under angels and the men, telling you, Jakes, what it is and what's going to happen, but you fan the hand at it. So Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the next thing to come is what? Judgment. You know, the whole head is sick. And can you be stricken anymore? The only thing left is to go back to the spirit world. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to turn this Edomite, this pine saw smelling white man that you love so much, against you. Which is a brother that Ezekiel 21:9.
This is Ezekiel 21 and verse 9. It says, son of man, prophecy. It says, thus said the Lord. Say a sword is sharpened, and it is fervent.
And what did King David say in Psalm 17 verse 13? Yahweh, protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword. And we know who that wicked is. The border of wickedness in Malachi 1 verse 4, and the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job 9 verse 24. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man.
Verse 10, it says, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It says, it is fervent that it may, should we make mirth? It is continued, the rod of the sun as every tree.
It said it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. Backing up what the elder brother was saying, you got Edomites right now as we speak. You got Jake out here getting wet, eating ice cream. Well, you got Edomites in a basement somewhere pressing bullets, thinking about a nigger in their mind's eye, and how many times they're gonna light your body up till it catches on fire.
Oh, not there, then you build it up here, rocket
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Monitoring.
Wherever the men of the Lord go, his brothers, go to the same places regularly. Best believe in these tall buildings, they got a guy with that telescope looking at you. Sometimes with business suit on, sometimes. But as it says, it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. It is fervent that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Should we then be having good time? Should we be concerned with going out on Saturday and getting drunk in the club a bunch of two-thirds and eating? No. Now, of course, there's times when you can go let your hair down, so to speak, but you should be in that spirit of mirth and rioting. You should really be in that spirit of mourning and humbleness and coming back to your power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Oh, yes. Read down to, you can read down to verse 12. You got Kaya, and then
Verse 11, it says, and he has his head to be fervent, that it may be healthy. This sword is sharpened, and it is fervent, to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Into the hand of the slayer, the son of perdition. Which, when you go into that word perdition, it means destruction, utter destruction. Hey, he's the poster boy for Isaiah 13. But as it said, it's given into the hand of the slayer, and it is fervent. Esau, Edom, the Lord is about to put that spirit on to pull out that sword for one last time. And best believe he's going to show his ass. As it says in Revelation 12, verse 12, the devil is going to come down in great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Get that verse 12 right?
I say, cry and howl. It says, son of man. It say, for it shall be upon the people.
Upon my people.
Upon my people, Salaki. It say, and it shall be upon the prince of Israel. Terrors by reason, it say, of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite thereof upon the thigh.
Hey, 2 times it mentions who this sword that the slayer is going to swing is going to be put on. My people, the princes of Israel. And it says, terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Cry and howl, son of man. Because these terrible times are quickly coming down the pipeline to where men, women, children, young and old aren't going to be spared. And the men of the Lord take that fight. We're telling you that we're coming into the times of Jacob's trouble, which is going to be worse than any other point in human history. But again, Jake wants to fan the hand and make mirth of these things. Well, when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai really opens up those floodgates of destruction, as it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Then shall they know it after death by pain. What you got to precept about that?
It's this Genesis 27 and 41 is basically touching back on how Esau is going to resort back to his natural, him having that natural hatred towards Jacob. So in Genesis 27 and 41 it says Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, and this is the same way that they're looking at Jacob today's time. The only thing is that the Lord, he's wrapping up his spirit within them.
And his heart is deep too. So he said in his heart, he thinks of many ways to punish and fuck over Jacob. He go forward with it. Yeah, Lord is deep. Yeah, his heart is deep.
In the new way that he messaged Jacob, he found a way to stop just putting on the robe, the white robe, man. He started putting himself in a position as the police, judges, lawyers, even doctors, man. They fucking you up in these hospitals. And the brother from LA put a video up how the Edomite woman was telling she in her time of practice coming up from the 90s to the 2000s. They had a doctor in particular. He was one of the ones that was helping women give birth. He was doing fucking he was cutting women from their rooter to their tutor.
For sport.
Yeah, for sport. He ain't had to do this shit.
The woman was, it was the Eve woman on the table, and she was perfectly fine, and she already gave birth. And he asked, because they were all, student doctors learning. He's like, does anybody know how to perform a certain type of C-section? And you're like, no, let's do it right now. Hit the lady, and she didn't need it.
Yeah, one dude that did, she fucking had to go get surgery, like somewhere like in the box area. So they put her to sleep, and when she woke up, she was like, she like really understand it. Like a couple months down the line, her sister started like creeping out, like a box area. So she went back, and they put her fucking tipping. They put a tipping because she felt like this certain little creature she kept fucking with her. Yeah, and he was bugging her off, so she went to go see what it was, and they opened her up, and fucking he might put a tipping.
And that's why, brothers, the apostles say, like, don't go to these motherfucking hospitals. Like, we understand, brother, that, some shit you can't avoid, they force you to. But, brother, don't be willing to just go into these people, bro. Like, this Satan, bro. You got a tummy ache, a headache, or some shit. Come on, bro. We got spiritual remedies, man. Herbs and shit, man.
When you dictate, you got to call upon Yahweh.
Yeah.
The word is,
There's the first line of defense is Esau rather than Yahweh.
You see what's wrong. The people you're going to see is what's wrong.
There's not those that Esau is a position of no value in the court of their lives. You can't believe none of this devil say.
The word doctor means to make seem to make right or something like that. To put yourself through.
False doctrine.
Yeah,
False doctrine.
Seem to make right.
The brother had the article in there with one of these doctors. He just went to the federal penitentiary because he made over $130 million of diagnosing people that wasn't sick. With like major diseases, cancer and AIDS, all kind of shit, man. For the break, yeah,
Doctor means to make the appearance.
make the appearance, falsify. And that devil got over $130 million is what they had from him giving people false diagnoses on their sicknesses, man. Running their tab up with major sicknesses too, man.
Hey, during 2019 to 2021, in those fun houses, people, they would get money for how many people fell asleep in the fun house. So they were giving people candy to fall asleep in. They were giving people laughing gas to make them fall asleep in the fun house.
Them machines too, doing that trial, brother. Like you get on that, it was maybe about 17K or something like that.
25. That's for the guy. That's for the to get signed up. Then once they put you on the once they have to put you on the machine, it's 37.
Man, I understood. So they're just anybody can all in the name of it. Hey, you just need to get on.
And now the authorities are coming out and admitting that the tequila shots got people too drunk to where they blacked out permanently. And now, who's the main person they put those tequila shots on? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Hey, but I think you might go into the article now where it says we got doctors are looking for a spike.
Yeah, I read it yesterday.
Spike in the
Uh,
how can I say this? A spike with the heart and people dropping dead, man. You know, that's what's coming up next. Because the devil who made the potion already said, give it for 5 years. Within 5 years, you're gonna have a rapid amount of people. All right,
5 years ago.
And you have. Ruckus. It's dying. Lord, it's fatally falling out. Healthy people, too.
all kinds of shit going on. So it says witches sound the alarm on massive spikes in Americans suddenly dropping unalive for unexpected heart attack. So that's what's coming. I got one of my pockets. Oh, that's what's coming, man.
You got that.
This Romans 13, verse 4. I'm going to start at 3. For rulers are not a teller to good works, but to evil. Will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of our power to be for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of our power, and revengeth to execute wrath upon them that do it evil.
The Lord has set up all the powers that were supposed to rule. He set up Esau, and what did he say? You know, if you get out of line and do evil, then, you know, that sword is not far from taking you out. You know, pay your taxes, you know, don't run red lights, you know, be an upstanding citizen. But if you want to be a nigga out here, and Esau comes and puts you down, that's been sanctioned by Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah.
Yeah, as part of his sword is his injustice system, his GMOs, right? His the way he pollute the air, the land. All right, all this is a sword because it's killing instrument. They just like, oh, he's just choking you out. You know, he choked you out, and then he get a paid vacation. Then he come back, man. You know, so this double is on it, man.
It's propaganda too, it's
Black
black
culture,
culture, hip hop, all that, everything. As the brother was saying, a literal gun,
yeah.
a literal gun, and him choking you out isn't just his sword. His sword goes into his science, his health, propaganda.
The book of Psalms goes into that too. That's how he casts out those nets when he catches the boy, man. He catches the different gimmicks and shit, man. Right now, I want to show you that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 12. The light not in the thing that is the light not in the thing that the ungodly are pleasant in. But remember that they shall not go in punishment to their grave. This is point 13. Keep thee far from the man that has power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. But if thou come unto him, make no fault. Lest he take away thy life. All right, what it says? Presently. Remember that thou goest into the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Okay, that backs up what the brother brought out in that Romans 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. And how do you do that? Not getting in the way of Esau's, you know, legal systems, and, you know, just doing what you can to keep yourself under the radar. Jake wants to pop off and show this image like he's a tough guy, but that brings you right in line to these centurions out here, and before these judges who are giving out race car number sentences.
It won't take the buck up. That's what the system is built off of. Yeah. So you have to be justified and executed, man. Or throwing you away in prison, because the prison industrial system is part of their weapon, the swords too, man. They feed you with all type of indoctrinations, give you Muslims, give you idolatry. All right, that's part of what killing Jake. Because if you serve other gods, you are dead until the Lord. There's no life in you, man.
If you're a prophet
of Satan,
they can do whatever they want to.
Yes, brother.
And that's why the scripture tell you up in Revelation 13. All right, rich and poor, free no bond. The people that's in jail, they don't have to say I don't want to take that off of the beach. You want to get down with the program. or put your ass in a hole. You know how that hole is, man. The hole is dark. You got that one little bit of light shining. There's rats in there. It's cold, and it's wet, man. Right? You got a crazy nigga on side you, groaning and moaning, man. You know?
Who's a disciple of Fleece Johnson.
You got a bunch of those, but you got a bunch of them in there. He's just getting glorified. But man, you can have the probably 40-50% of the prison is like this guy, man. If not worse.
More aggressive.
Jake ain't even thinking about that shit. This is where this nigga come from. So they gotta have people more sick-minded in a mind than him, man.
Yeah, that's why them niggas ain't know.
Exactly.
The prison is a freak factor.
Yeah, man, you don't want to go to that dark daycare. Nobody wants to do that, man. With some brain cells in your head, man. You hear the story, like they got a whole YouTube channel dedicated to this prison story. The other guy, Wes Watson, and the other dark skinned Jake, talking about one nigga, this bald one, real dark skin, he got a shaved face and shit. Nigga talking about a nigga named Chocolate Thunder. Man, who wanna deal with that, man? This nigga known to get hostile. Who wanna deal with that shit? I mean, that's why I think for the Lord had me in the truth, in my right mind. I ain't gotta sit up here and deal with none of that shit, man. Nigga, you want your cornbread. Ain't nobody want to deal with that nigga, man.
They're leaving the Snickers on your pillow.
Yeah, honey buns and shit.
You didn't just read Travel with a Bull Fella, but you know nobody asked you that. I want to hear
I know
Yeah, but the scripture goes back to what this brother said. You got to stay out of the way of a man that has power to kill. He still has the power right now. Whether you accept it or not, this so-called white man has been given the power from on the left-hand side of the Most High to be in power, to rule in darkness, man. And then you get out of your car at a simple traffic stop. You want to act irate and crazy with this
I know
nigga.
my rights.
talking that sovereign citizen shit, man. Meanwhile, you dealing with Judge Dredd himself. You wonder why this nigga is cracking his knuckles as he's talking to you in the glove. Dealing with this nigga, man. You supposed to okay.
Walking tall than the camera right now.
Hey, because you gotta think these niggas most they got something came out where they said the police forces purposely trying to get niggas that ain't too right in the head. Then you gotta understand on a day-to-day walk of these police officers, these niggas are seeing people dead, children, all type of messed up. They messed up in the head. Then here come you wanting to fuck up. You a free kill.
What the fuck you pull me over for? You heard me?
You about to find out right now. All right?
Back up what you said, I remember this was like 10 years ago I read this. They intentionally look for people with low IQs to join the police force.
Yeah.
And the reason is because, somebody with a lower IQ can do the paperwork. But that's not the reason. They want a drone in there. They want a gorilla that's going to be cracking skulls.
Yeah, that's why you see the Edomites. The Edomites, I was cool with a guy when I lived in Houston that was on the floor. He's like, man, he said, them motherfuckers coming there straight off the street and watch too much cops and be tripping, man. Roughing you up. Get the fuck out of here. You complying, and niggas still punching you in your head. Man.
Stop resisting.
Yeah.
Right, sure.
But you takes it, man, punching bags for that shit because you always fucking up. Straight up. You see it? That's fucking into that shit.
I know you were holding something.
Oh yeah, I had that. That's the spirit. I was holding the game. I got two. You got y'all.
You got it.
Go ahead.
Come, it says, "Born to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that grievousness, that right grievousness which they have prescribed." Hey, that prescription they give out where there's the doctor give to you to go to them, that, but still, all in all, those decrees, when you read this in the NIV, the brother just took the phone, it says that make unjust laws and oppressive, and give out oppressive I was just looking at it in another. Can you get in there? Yeah. Well, listen, I'm gonna read it again. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees." Put in things for you gotta take care of. They got the child support thing now. If you been with the girl, you gotta take care of the child that ain't even yours, man. No, like you obligated to that. Even if, even if it's not yours, you still gotta handle that, man. That's come on, bro. That's an unrighteous decree, man. And right grievousness which they have not prescribed. Get it in the no, not the NLT. Let me look at I want the NLT. Yeah, whatever they prescribe through that injustice system, their oppressive laws, right? They make all kind of laws under your nose. Doing Jake celebrating Christmas for the first of January, pop bringing up when the baby drop. They implementing all kind of Trump was just signing shit for weeks, man. You just saw him with the ink pen as soon as he got in office, man. He wasn't even looking. He just signed, man.
That's nice. He immediately went from the inauguration. He walked out of the inauguration into the office and sat down.
Signing. Yeah, no, let me say the NIV. Yeah, read that one.
This is Isaiah 10 and 1 in the NIV. It says, "Woe to those who make unjust laws, to those who issue oppressive decrees."
Yeah, oppressive decrees. Because everything they put on Jake, it just is a burden, a more heavier burden. All right, they laying heavy burdens on Jake. They're making everything tough. These tariffs, right? That's an oppressive law, man. The taxes, right? They going up in federal hike taxes and shit like that, man. All right, that's an oppressive law to us, man. We already poor.
You're talking about that Zephaniah 1:14 that the Lord was a little displeased.
Yeah,
but yet this devil for the affliction.
Yeah,
that's part of for the affliction. You read that?
That was it on that one, right? On the Isaiah 10.
Oh yeah, that's it, brother. Yeah, that's it, brother.
Back here with this wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, because this is ultimately going into what the mindset of this devil Esau Edom. This is wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice." So that's where their power reside at. Okay?
That the justice system and the military. That's all Esau's power, right? And like I said, he run that machine perfectly, right? Starting with the judicial system, the executive branch, and legislative branch. That's where his power lies, man. Right? That's why he set out the farm, all right, what goes into the Revelation, man. That's my train of thought, the DC being over the military, you got the
3 unclean spirits.
The 3 unclean spirits, man. Right? Because this devil is set out. Actually, he wants that one world government, man. Right? One military, one religion, and one money system, man. Right? You gotta see that. You gotta see how things are going in this time. This devil been had this shit set out, all right, since the days of Adam Weishaupt. They had one plan in general. It's for them to be on top and everybody else to be low. Starting with 2 Jakes, man. And a lot of them that's up in those high seats, and them corner buildings with them are token niggas. Most of them are really, some of them are Edomites, man. But they're not an Edomite in spirit. And they doing the work of this devil. What the fuck you think Condoleezza Rice is, man? Kamala Harris. She not even a Judite woman. So you other dumb black ass women out here thinking she a so-called sister. That motherfucker hate your ass, man. That what you know? Did you catch that the keynote speech when she was talking? That motherfucker Kamala Harris was talking about depopulation, man. Why everybody missed that? Go ahead,
Because she ain't the orange man.
This was Solomon chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth."
God, as you know, Let our strength be the law of justice. Woe to him that frameth mischief by his devices and write those unrighteous decrees. This whole legal system that Esau has set up to where it's so complicated, there's so many pitfalls for Jake to fall into. And lest we forget, you being called a so-called black person means you aren't even under the jurisdiction of the law, which I've got the Black's Law Dictionary right here.
Which goes into the law of color, right? Because when you look at the law of color, all nations have what synonymous with their nation. They have a color flag, right? The white color means surrender, but all the other nations have color flags. You don't have a color. You don't even acknowledge you as a people, man. You're just something that's just existing here in America, all right? And you can find that too with my man. I think it was Jordan Maxwell went into the law of color, all right? Go ahead.
This is a shout out to Elder Malcolm for putting this on one of his recent videos. This is from the Civiliter Mortis Black Laws Dictionary, 2nd edition. Deontay.
Real fast, I'm gonna cut you off. Mostly I fuck with the fifth and fourth edition. That means the second edition goes even further back than that. Gotta be somewhere within the 1800s, man.
Raw and uncut.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
So again, the Civiliter Mortis Black Law Dictionary, 2nd edition. Deontay Cassius Clay is not black, African American, or Negro. See SF 181. This is what it says. First, there exists no nation of black Americans, nor is there a black America in any documented record the world over. Black Americans are what is referred to in law as a misnomer, or collectively misnomers. As you well know grammatically, black is an adjective and is not a proper noun. Socially and politically, black implies civiliter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation.
That's why we don't have. Jake don't got no military. When these nations go to they're not inquiring about Jake.
Jake ain't got their own language.
Jake don't got a language. Yeah, we borrowing the language. Look at English. We borrowing the language. Anything we got, it ain't ours, man.
That
Don't belong to us.
that beautifully shows that the curse is upon you Negroes like it knows the nation.
So we the people too, though. Right? By default, it gives a balance to actually show who the Lord chosen people is, man. It's an indicator, man.
Somebody can give me this Lamentations 4:22. We have looked for vain help, but as it says,
Hey, guess what? That Black Law Dictionary was invented for blacks against blacks. All right? Those were laws set up for who? Against Jake. All right?
for you, against you. But as it says, socially and politically, black implies civiliter mortis, which means dead in the eyes of law. Black Americans.
That's why the law set up to oppress who? Jake.
God.
The laws of the land is set up to oppress niggas, man.
To oppress the poor,
the
widow. You was born into it too. Remember in Isaiah the 10th chapter, when you jump to verse 5, it said, what? Oh, Syria, the rod of my anger, I will send him upon who? A hypocritical nation.
That's right.
You know? So what they going to do? They're going to lay the law down on you. They're going to lay their law down on you. You know?
But as it says, black American is not a nationality, nor is it a nation.
No identity.
Therefore, black has no political interests.
That's a proverb in the Bible, which is part of the curses in Deuteronomy 28.
God.
That's us. Like that's us, along with our brothers, man. The rest of the tribe.
Therefore, black has no political interests nor powers in the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. So it's straight up saying you so-called Negroes are not free out here. You're not even considered a person. You got that lamentation?
We never was freed off those plantations. We just was moved over to what?
Emancipation.
Emancipation, bro. It just mean to move over.
Transfer
ownership. We just went to a governmental system, all right, that you see today, man.
That's why your whole shot got to come.
Yes.
You know? You're going to set up their righteous government on the right-hand side.
One slavery to another. You
You
got
got
it.
niggas doubt hard about Juneteenth.
Selling you freedom.
They say they block. They block.
This is Lamentations 4 and verse 17. It say, as for us, our eyes as yet failed, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. It say, and our watching have watched for a nation that could not save us. Hey, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain, and vain means worthless help. In our watching to the government, watching to the legal system for help, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. As we just read, Black American in the Black Laws Dictionary, you're not even constituted as a free person or subject to the laws and the rights of the laws. You're just free game out here. Again, Micah 2 and 10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. We were never supposed to, be a part of that American dream or eat that apple pie.
They tell you in what that's Jeremiah 2 and 33, why trimmest thy ways to seek love? Because every time we try looking for help with our enemies, even though it was a curse unto us, we have to eat, bread and water from them, but that's about it. They rely everything else on the Lord, man, to protect us. This Psalms 94 and 20.
Just want that one.
That's the spirit. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?
Mischief, deceits, wrongdoing by law. Kind. Esau has framed all his wickedness by law. Let our strength be the power of justice. I'm going to screw over these Israelites, but I'm going to have a legal system. I'm going to make it look professional. So it looks like they broke the law. I didn't do anything wrong.
And even when it ain't right, they just admit it and bring something. Man, we can't wait here. We got to get out of here, man.
Going back to what that brother saying too. Jake said you can never be a citizen of America because you came here under wartime attitude, man. You came here in war under slavery, man. So you can't never be a so-called citizen. You just existing here. You just the prisoner of the war. And that goes into the law of color too, right? Because like when you put on a police uniform and you just a regular guy running around like you're a cop, you put yourself under what they call the law of color. All right, knowing you're a criminal, man. Same thing if you was to anytime somebody in a war state they basically what they call it, they show their flag, man. What nation they represent. Same thing when you sit up there and when a person do you wrong, you say, oh, I see their true colors, All this stuff is runs and tries to go together, man.
Yeah, it's by design. Even looking into George Maxwell, he say when you go into on the court system, that's why the judges got black robes. They got black robes on because he say when you look at a court system, he was like, what do you do on the court? You play on the court.
Yeah.
So when you go down to these courthouses, they playing with you.
Yeah.
You are governed by the law, so-called law of the land, and they are governed by the law of the water. So it's two different playing fields.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they both. That's why they need to go back.
Went into that? Or George Maxwell when he basically telling them like how the judges they wear black, their robes are black.
Yeah, they sit on the bench.
They sit on the bench like the court system because they playing with you the whole time.
Yeah.
The referee controls the game.
You already lost unless the Lord with you.
He said it in whatever ways he want, like water. Hey, go here, there, whatever ways he want, man.
You can't really represent yourself by talking about it, man. Well, you better know that law down to the T. They gonna speak in Latin, right?
And what they advise you, right, to get what? To get representation. And if you don't, we'll what? Give you a quarter. So it's still in their favor. It's like, well, he works for us. So we'll give you, Jay can't really afford it. Lawyers. Because the lawyers work for them too.
Yeah.
And a lot of you niggas get in trouble in these times and don't understand what's going on. When you go your black ass to court to get judged, guess what? That judge sitting on the bench, but he's also sitting behind a flag that got fringes. Those are wartime fringes, man. That's what them fringes on the American flag represent. Time of war. And guess what? They're gonna. That's why they giving you niggas. They giving you niggas fucking NASCAR numbers, man, for the least offenses.
They just had a Jake. They gave that nigga life plus 125 years.
Yeah, look at Larry Hoover. Larry Hoover got 6 life sentences on top of 200 years.
That show you the mindset of this devil. They think that the house shall continue forever. Who the fuck about to do that time?
Yeah.
They gonna reincarnate, come back and spawn back in the prison.
And still be in jail. Life. You feel that nigga on life said that shit? Life. You can't do that shit.
It was innocent as all outdoors. They ain't even want to hear it. They ain't even want to hear you in court. And that's why when Jake been in court, you look at niggas, Jake talking, you heard me consider that. Man, get him out of here, man.
You
just guilty, man. Yeah, you put him in the bank, man.
That's like with that rapper, his name TK. At first he had, I believe what it was, 45 years, if I'm not mistaken. He had 45 years. He tried to he tried to take the case to trial. So after that, they ended up giving him like 80 years. So the judge was basically telling him like, you would eat here, you would sleep here, and most importantly, you would die here. You know, killing all J. Cole.
They just added more time to it.
Yeah.
I think we got like 100-something.
They already know what they about. They already know what they about to do. You know, just like the elders talking about life. When you watch the movie, the heathen might say, "Well, shit, if you ain't do that, you don't got nothing to worry about." But he already know they're about to shit them niggas off. I got one for you, huh?
I'll get just what the elder brother was saying about what the golden fringes represent, because the American flag you see is a battle flag. They've got a separate flag, which is a civilian American flag, but the flag, the average everyday American flag you see, represents a battle flag. So it means every U.S. citizen is in an active battle zone. So that means if you get put down by the authorities, you're just a casualty of war. You're a combatant.
But who gonna stand up for you? You know, you've been given it to what, the hand of your enemies and all of those that hate you. You know,
And especially if you, as we just read, a Black American, which means you just here. You're just a plaything, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon. Hey, they have made our life a pastime, a place of gain. But this is some information on a gold fringe flag. The gold fringe flag stands for no nation and no constitution. Ye are under admiralty law of the sea, the holy see of Rome. No, not constitutional law or common law of the land or civil law or statute law. The gold fringe flag does not set the rules of the room, but is a warning sign. You are guilty and must prove you are not guilty. So straight to the point, Jake's walking in there with the gun already to the back of his head. And with us being under admiralty law, where it says no nation, no constitution, that really goes back to show that Britain still owns America.
they said what they basically govern off of what the Constitution of Rome. So
The Holy See of Rome.
right? The what?
The Holy See of Rome.
Yeah, the Holy. Going back to that water, the Holy See of Rome. So that shows you who's in control, and it's not what America Rome what 2.0 revamped. You know, you look at it from the downtowns. You know, everywhere you go, you know, throughout the all 50. You know, that spirit of ancient Roman Empire has been spread throughout the U.S.
That deadly wound that was healed. And it goes a little deeper. Another list of words that containing ship. Everything in America is on a ship or setting in water. We are under admiralty law. With admiralty law, a sailor gets liberty, not freedom. Liberty equals a privilege, and it is something a particular individual or group are allowed to do, which others do not have permission, but can be taken away, not freedom. Going back to that definition in Black's Law Dictionary, you are not considered a free national citizen. You're considered a nobody here.
And that's why you know when you look at Revelation 13 chapter, that's why they ultimately gonna usher in what, the MOTP. You know, that no man buy, sell, trade. At least he have what, that Quran. You know. I just real quick. Yeah, this Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." All right. It says they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation that the name of Yasharahla be no more in remembrance. You know, and that's what's ultimately taking place, you know, because what? According to Isaiah the 28th chapter, you Negroes, Latinos, and natives have what? Not only been given into the hands of your enemies, but you forsook Yahweh watching the outside. You made a covenant with that. You know?
You reading that covenant with that?
No, that's Isaiah 28. We got it.
28, yeah.
Yeah, I just went into Psalms 83.
That's on.
How the crafty council
Okay, come.
said, make us no more people.
Go ahead. I'm gonna get that.
Just to back up that Psalms 83, because it says they all basically had their crafty counsel towards, Israel. So this is Lamentations 2 and 15. I start 15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands and beat. They hiss and wag their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? So is this the Lord's people? 16, it says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. Because they all have took part in afflicting Jacob, man.
And if I could say, open their mouth against thee, what does it say about the wicked's tongue? It's like a sword. Him speaking that legislation against you, Jakes.
Psalm 64.
Y'all went in Psalms 37. But you got it.
This is Psalm 64 and 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsels of the wicked, all right, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who wrap their tongues like a sword, all right, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
And
that's your legislation.
You've got, the front side of the law that people know, but then you got that back side of the law, the Black's law, which a lot of people don't know about, and all these different pitfalls and amendments that they do behind the scenes to where Jake, one Jake might have been able to escape, getting a words escape. Jake might have escaped getting a long sentence, but then Esau go behind the scenes and change it up to where Jake can't use that same way of the law to manipulate it again. Oh no, we amended this, so you can't use that loophole again. Go to jail.
That's what I mean. And you got dumbass Edomites out here thinking that the law, George Bush told you back when he was in office, the law, the Constitution is just a piece of paper. The word amendment itself means to change. And they don't mind changing. What this person said, they find a loophole for niggas to get A1 credit and just find a way to manipulate the system. They immediately change that shit. Oh no, they find a way to to cut out the middleman or cut out the big man, or out the middleman. You got more. It says that they may shoot in secret at the person. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily.
Hey, our persecutors were swifter than eagles. We looked for vain help for a nation that could not save them. Their strength being the law of justice. Esau coming up with all this legislation behind the scenes to get caught up. And at the same time, we know they're coming with that persecution campaign against the men of the Lord. All these different things they're going to do to label us as enemies of the state so they can be justified in coming against us. They got a slave do-rag and a heart in his man.
It says who shall see them? They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
And from what you were saying earlier, all the way back from Adam Weishaupt, when they set up America and all these institutions, they already knew, what they were going to do to make sure you Gates had no rights here and we're going to get thrown underneath the jail and constantly be oppressed.
Why? It's true, because if both fathers told you how what happened in the ancient Roman Empire, man. When Jake took them down, they learned from all that shit. Do not put you niggas in office like that. Don't put you in no prominent seats. If you got Jake thinking that Barack Hussein Obama was a Jake, no, it's a Hemite. They would never do that again, man. You didn't let a real, you think they would let a real Jake come out the Jake in the office? Hell no, that's not happening. Them people might learn, they learn from that whole situation, man.
The Senior Severius,
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius,
They
the
learn.
Jakes that went through the legal system in Rome to become emperors, and then what? Kicked you Edomites in the ass.
Yeah, so they'll never let that happen again, man. That's why they let two token niggas get just enough to the top.
Buck that.
Yeah, and that's it. You hit a ceiling. You know?
Yeah, they got a VCR take with you.
A baby oil with grease stealing.
Time to come down.
Yeah.
They don't give Jake a slither of hope. Because with hope, a little bit of hope could do for a nation, it could rise the nation up.
Hope deferred.
Against
Hope
hope
deferred,
deferred make the heart sick. So our hope is deferred. The vast majority of Jake, they don't got no hope. They just like, man, we're in the ghetto. They don't even have hope in there's a God. They don't even believe like, man, we're in the hood. God, why would God do this?
That's why Esau set up token niggas for the niggas on the bottom to believe that there is some hope.
There's some hope, yeah.
Because look how they fought to let him get up there. And to guess what?
Control.
And they put that hope out there so you don't attack the so-called white man. And thinking that, and knowing that he's the problem. You'll think that, oh, this token nigga here, he the problem because they got him doing the work, but it's really the white man. You know?
They control too.
Oh, all these niggas got
All them
receipts.
niggas, them black boulets and all, them niggas control. You see them niggas on the medium, like the Zaquan always say, they got them niggas, man.
Yeah, anybody you see on the TV, which is called a medium, they control. They have receipts for them niggas.
Yes, bro.
You think, hey, you got LeBron James being walked with gutter rats, not by his hand,
By the other hand.
by his hand.
Oh,
And walking with him like this.
Like a little
A
boy.
real nigga too.
He sit at the table holding hands with them. Yeah, y'all just seen the other one with Terry Crawford holding hands with that Saudi.
Turkey, yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah, Terry Crews, that big yoked up
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
They said an Edomite came and just grabbed his junk.
he ain't do nothing, man.
And he said, I felt violated, big brolic nigga.
Hey, you supposed to blind that nigga, man.
Garrett Jones. and
Big as you
James
is, man.
That was sick. That was sick.
You got muscles jumping all off the back of your fucking head. All right? And always flexing, but you ain't stuck that in. You supposed to knock that Edomite out, man. But you niggas scared to lose it all. You scared that Esau gonna sit up there and what they say? Blackmail or blackball you? Cancel your ass, man. But you got these rough and tough niggas that don't want to say nothing about the alphabet people. The Skittle people, man. Don't say the Skittle people and the little hats, man.
Kyrie, Nick Cannon,
Kyrie.
all of it.
That's the nigga from Miami. That nigga and his woman. Let that boy Zaza and get his back pushed in, man.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
too.
Fuck wrong with y'all niggas, man. Let that nigga get his pole cut off, man. You know? The fucking Zion, man. Huh? Yeah.
Who got a white boy?
That nigga son. That nigga son, huh? That nigga son, huh? Hey, tripping. That's a boy. I'm a boy, damn it. That's a fucking boy.
Like Day said,
Yeah, man.
They gonna get control out delete on Jake videos.
Fuck it.
fuck.
Y'all
Yeah,
niggas, man.
exactly.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Christmas, bitch.
Go ahead.
But real quick to back you up about how anybody they set up over Jake as a savior is really just a further oppressor. It's a form of deception. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Hey, that's what the Lord say. You read it in Psalm 55. They thought they was all together. I was all together as thyself, meaning being with them. Because they allowed the Lord allowing this to happen to us. It looked like the Lord is actually with these people. They prospering, they ruling the earth. So they said they thought they was all together, that the Lord was all together with them.
Psalm 73, it said, I envied the wicked seeing how they were, but I didn't take into account their latter.
They latter utterly
God,
perished.
God,
It's Psalm 73.
call him Aesop, and when you read at the beginning, he was expressing all the things that plagued him, you know? Yeah, he was getting angry. But he goes on to say this, in Psalm 73, to 16, it says, when I thought to know this, it was painful for me until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then I understood I therein, you know? Yeah. Understanding the judgment that comes with being, you know, a heathen or, you know what I'm saying?
We had to learn that here, though. So that same congregation now, what he was speaking about is what? The tabernacle of men. Right? Once we was called into this, we understood what would be the judgment of the wicked. That's why the Lord said, Ezra, don't worry about the wicked gonna get killed, worry about the righteous gonna get saved. Once you understand, now you need to work on the things that build on righteousness and salvation. We know what the end of a wicked man is. They tell you that. For this is the end of a wicked man. What? Judgment. There's a recompense gonna come back on his own head, man. So our people still were being joined into this devil, knowing that his end shall be what? Dust and ashes, man. It said, why earth and ashes proud? Right? When you ash, you done, man. You low. This is Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death. God, that's a beautiful one. And with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scars shall pass through, it shall not come unto us.
They think when Esau gonna come down in great wrath, you know, he gonna start persecuting, you know, because, you know, we sold out, we bent over, you know, he got a reputation. He's gonna let us into those bunkers and we're gonna be okay. That's not gonna be the case. Look at the Black Panthers. Look at those Gadites that sold out to Esau in the past. Once he got through using you, he threw you to the wolves.
He did that with Judas Iscariot during the time of the wrong. What he did? No, throw the money down. Like, no, your money. The Pharisees and Sadducees, Salaki. All right, they at the time he threw it back to him. He said, "You're a traitor." They look at you if you sell out your own nation. You ain't gonna do right by us.
You're gonna sell us out.
Yeah, he a traitor. People. He a traitor himself. Did not he kill his brother Cain, Abel for nothing? So man.
Nobody respects a traitor.
Nobody respects a
sellout.
Yeah,
a
bed winch.
Hey, what they did on it was the one with the gorillas on it. Planet of the Apes. They had the gorillas, the ones that sold out. They did something at the end. They put it on their backs. They put some words on their back.
Like a mule or a donkey or something.
Yeah, they put a mule or a donkey on their back, man. It shows you Esau got them all the way to the end, and he turned his back on them. The ones that sold out. You turncoats, man.
I think he shot him, man.
Ultimately, they died.
They died, yeah.
Ultimately, they died.
Shot them all up.
But the mockery that he did to show that you know he turned his back on them. It was done through something here. He put on their back. I forgot. I can't remember it, but nobody respects a traitor, man.
Look at Benedict Arnold. He was an Edomite that betrayed, the revolution, and his name is used to be synonymous with the traitor, and that was hundreds of years ago. Just as Judas, you call somebody a Judas goat, that just goes to show how low a traitor is seen. And hey, that
applies to you guys to go back in the world, man. Nobody respects a quitter, all right? Nobody respects a guy that just give up in the middle of the race, man. Nobody respects a fucking turncoat. When you look at throughout the history, most of these people, most of the prominent people that were set up, they came about. It's like that guy that was in Texas that set up that had to fight at the Alamo St. Anne, General St. Anne. That guy was fucking turned in, but Edomites couldn't find him. He was just fucking them up, dipping out. So who told on him? Other Jakes for some donkeys, horses, and uniforms, man. And a new haircut.
What is it, Judas in the Black on that movie? It was like your brother said, it's always Jake. It's always your own people that align with the, having alliance with the enemy.
We were talking about it at camp. They had a nigga, them niggas that's missing out the prison system. The nigga own sister. Blood sister told on him for $20,000, man.
Even like slavery time, when you look back, the first like police or cop system, that was Jake's going chase other Jake's down. He saw slow ass look, but it was niggas that was sellouts,
Yeah, the police were set up as slave patrol, man.
hey, back in that Isaiah 28, also those that have made a covenant with death are you leaders in these false prophets in these camps out here who are what? Breaking down the doctrines wrong and, slandering, the brothers over at GMS, thinking that when Esau comes down, you're just going to escape out the back door. No, this applies to you as well, even more so, because you're twisting the truth, the actual truth.
Yep, it says, for we have made lies our refuge that believed in lies, man. That they, what the Lord said, I'm going to choose their delusion, for I made them, I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, that they should believe a lie. But this is all done spiritually through the Lord, that the Lord could judge you in the end, man. So whoever be a turncoat, Judas was already recognizing what he would do, because Yahweh called him out. He that dip his hand in the tray, in the dish with me shall betray me. So the Lord already know who going, is Sakari, old, right there.
In this time too.
In this time too. Yeah, it's nothing new under the sun. They're coming back.
Judas said, is it I, Lord? Yahweh said, thou hast said.
Thou hast said. He told him it was him. Before he did it, he still did.
Go do what you got to do.
Go do what you got to do.
And just like John 6:64, Yahweh was speaking, he said, he knew those from the beginning that would not believe.
That would not believe.
It was already set up.
Yeah, the Lord had telekinesis, man. What that is? That's what you call it. Telepathy. He can read their minds, man. He knew before it even happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when he dealt with a lot of wicked Pharisees and Sadducees, he said, it says in the scripture, I perceive their wickedness.
That's it. I was just about to say that. Yep. Yahweh pulled up like, I perceived thee. Yeah, like, what? He already knew what you were speaking.
How you was coming too, man.
So that show you too how we gonna fuck Esau and the king. Because we gonna have that power.
We're going to have that power.
Shit, on the low, we got it now. We see you niggas coming. We been on the block, man. We see you niggas coming a mile away. Hey, watch this nigga, man.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
What I did? Get out of here. We perceive your fucking wickedness, man.
Yeah, we already tell you niggas coming with some bullshit. I love you guys.
No,
I wanna. No, man. I'm looking for the sniper. What the fuck you niggas looking at? Nigga got a sniper.
It's the guy in the blue garment. I'm gonna stand next to him. I love you guys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when I kiss on the cheek, that's him.
I want a hug. Man,
Yeah.
get the fuck on, man.
We should all just love each other. Always all love. Get out of here, man. You trying to do something else, man.
Get out of here,
Bozo. It says, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Let me jump to 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scars shall pass through, then ye shall be tried down by it.
Hey, when this devil comes down in great wrath, and this sword of the Slayer, somebody have it. You need a battery pack?
Yeah, car.
I got one.
Yeah, like the brother said, what you were saying, the sword of the Slayer?
Hey,
He buried not in vain, right? So he
and when Esau comes down in great wrath, and that Slayer has that sword to furbish it, you sold out. That doesn't mean you're gonna get a pass. You're gonna go through the famines, the pestilences, and the persecutions, and that ultimate scourge. Those nuclear missiles are gonna wipe you away.
and even in these church houses, right? These haunted houses, it says they that believe unto the prophet shall they judgment be also. So you don't get a pass with nothing. The Lord ain't tell you to be believing lies and stomping around and whatever he was teaching y'all. Everybody, listen, at the end of the day, the Lord said, Ecclesiastes 12 and 14.
That's the whole reason why you got the prophets.
Yeah.
The prophets are giving a warning and telling you what to basically run away from it to where what? That's what Yahweh Shai talked about the end of the prophets saying what save yourself from
Untoward generation. Yeah.
So that's why you got the prophets. But what? According to 2 Corinthians 36, or 2 Chronicles, like 36 and 16, they made mockery of the prophets. They say they misused the prophets. Well, how do you misuse the prophets? You don't take heed to the warning that the prophets are giving.
So your reward is your reward. The Lord gonna read that.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 14. Yeah. It says, for the Most High shall bring every work into judgment.
Go ahead.
With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So evil work. So he bringing every work into judgment, whether it be evil or whether it be good. So every man gonna get that recompense regardless of whatever it was, man. Nobody's can escape the hand of the Lord, man.
Just to back that up real quick, This is a second Esdras 14. I'm gonna read 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, showing that there's reincarnation. And what did Yahweh Shai tell those wicked jakes back then? By you saying you would not slay the prophets, you're identifying that you are those same men that slayed the prophets because you're coming against me. And it's the same thing now. You jakes that are coming against the prophets now, you know, you would say, oh, I'd never talk against Jeremiah or Isaiah, but you were them same niggas back then doing the same thing against Yahweh Shai's men today.
Hey, Jeremiah was trying to save him, and they threw him in the pit, man. He came out and said, Lord, kill these niggas, man. He came to give them the word to save them, and they overthrew him, man. They were trying to throw him in the pit, man.
That's why the old saying, the best thing you can do for a nigga
is nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing.
I'm not trying to do nothing for these niggas. I'm playing dumb. Straight up. You can't help these niggas, man.
That's why the Lord told Jeremiah, live not up the cross for this people. That's the same spirit the prophets in the day. You know? And to love everybody's spirit.
Yeah, so they want to tell everybody, hey man, you gotta quickly get out of that spirit. Jeremiah, if you want to tell everybody the truth, right? You running out homeless men in the dead of night, all right? Tell him he's an Israelite, all right, and give him a canned good and an apple. You fucking crazy, man.
You can't forget about their family.
Yeah, man. Let them people alone, man.
But as I said, for after death,
Hey, fuck that. I remember I had a dude that was in back in the day, it was in Houston. He up there, I told a guy, dude on his own porch, eating red beans and a pork chop, you gonna go in the man's fence and tell him that man should have shot your ass, man.
Piss out you, man.
Tripping. You know, that guy is no longer with us, man. You know, he's not. He in the world, but Jake is trying to tell everybody, hey man, let them people alone, man. Let judgment come down. Some death, like I said, you got so aged in the truth that you're not trying to tell the first cousin, this one now your friend. You ain't trying to tell them shit no more, man. But just if they don't wake up to this truth on their own, in some form or fashion, hey, that's it for them. Cool.
They're going to show too. Jake don't understand the prophecies of the scriptures. Right, according to 2 Ezra 9:22, the Lord created many that was born in vain. You got to really understand that when you come into the truth. That no, everybody ain't gonna get it. You know,
everybody not gonna get it, man. That's the truth. Everybody not gonna get this thing. This thing is only. We've been saying this for the last past 2-3 weeks. This is for exclusive club, man. When you look at the word mystery, goes into mysterion. It goes into
initiated.
Those are initiated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta see, man. The Lord has to select you and elect you as one of His own, man. We've been saying this for weeks. You can't buy this. You can't go on eBay and buy this. You can't go into CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. You cannot purchase this, man. This has to be given from on high. The Lord has to sup with you. All right? Now I went into that word sup. You seen that?
Yeah.
It said to have
blissful intercourse.
Yeah, but it said to share
intimate, blissful intercourse.
Yeah. Meaning the Lord dealing with you in depth.
Yeah.
On His mysteries, on His secrets, man. That He revealed to us. Why the Lord didn't wake up Lil Wayne, man? He looking like Whoopi Goldberg.
that nigga Levi.
Yeah, man.
He threw.
Why the Lord hasn't woken up your favorite celebrity where he's doing the work week in and week out? He didn't put down the record deals and shit. Because the Lord ain't dealing with them niggas like that, man. Some of them know they ain't doing the work. Look at Kodak Black. Kodak Black just said he's Israelite, but he on a video popping pills and doing it. His mouth is moving. That nigga eyes this big on the video, man.
You say you're a gremlin, he do the purpose fake and still ate.
Yeah, but then the same party say you're Israelite.
Yahweh Shai said it's easier for a camel to enter to the eye of a needle than a rich man into the kingdom of heaven. You know, these jakes have gotten their consolation. You know, they've sucked at the riches of Babylon, literally, and you know, it's hard for them to give it up.
You know another thing too? Jake can't come out here losing. That's like somebody that me and this brother know. I already know that Jake can't take the he can't take it, bro.
Reputation.
The reputation, he think his reputation exceeds the Most High. My friends, my women gonna laugh. My woman gonna laugh at me. My children gonna look at me a different way. You worrying about the world. That's what the celebrities, they worrying about how they would look to the world to their quote unquote fans. But as you can see, the Lord gave us plenty of examples with R. Kelly, with Diddy. These niggas love you today and hate you tomorrow. Like this. Whether the allegations are true or fake, that's how America goes. America runs on a pack mentality. Nobody has their mind, a mind and thoughts of their own. He can feel one way, and by the time they get over there to him, everybody feels that way.
Everybody's fickle.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with what Lord y'all said. Nobody has their own opinion, own thoughts. Nobody's thinking logically and rational at all. Everything is fueled by emotions. But go ahead, you got it.
After real quick, just after you know when you go into the scripture, it tell you falling out of multitudes of
You gotta believe it, y'all.
This place follow they follow the multitude. Man. It's easier that way. It's easier here in America. You don't have to think.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to think here, man. You could just be whatever you want to be. And I said before, you can marry a head of cabbage. All right. What else? That nigga said he married. One motherfucker said he married himself. He divorced
He
himself.
said he got miserable and divorced himself. No, real life shit. What he married himself, then they say 2 or 3 weeks later he divorced himself. But they let him do that shit, bro.
Hey, your reputation, so-called reputation, because what fucking we're slaves in captivity. What reputation do you truly have? Coming into this truth, the reputation is the first thing to go. With the first precept we opened up with, made a spectacle, a sport, a public show in front of the world and men and angels. It comes along with the truth that what? Since the world hated Yahushua, they're going to hate us just as much.
Yeah, but the truth said we are fools for Yahushua said. I'm cool with coming out here and thinking I look crazy because I put on a garment. All right, this is a part of the same. You read about the garments in the scriptures in the border of blue. This is the same Bible they use in the church tomorrow on Sunday. It's in there. But yet you don't really. That shows to us that you don't really know the Bible as you say you do. All right. We to the best of our ability. We follow the dietary laws. Right. And many other things, man.
But just to add to the Zaquan, when Yahushua came in, first of all, he made himself a new reputation. But that was part of spiritual part, he came in on the ass. The basically like it's not about my reputation, it's my meek. It's to do the will of him that sent me. Meek and lowly, man. All right, that's part of his ability. Yeah.
He could have came in there looking.
They said, what do you look for?
He could have came in there looking. You know what Jake said, fly and shit. He could have came in there in style, but he didn't, man. This time he coming back in style, man. He coming back with them chariots and that fathership, man. It's gonna be massive.
What we're going through right now is an example of Yahushua. We're coming meek, lowly. Brothers have ailments. Brothers, going through hard times. Don't have the what this world would. Brothers don't, the world doesn't perceive that we have anything. They're bumalites. All those things. But what? It says we're going to be joint heirs with Yahushua. So as Yahushua came meek and lowly and was glorified, when it's the elect's turn to, be joint heirs, we're going to be glorified and sit at the right hand of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua as well.
This Acts 5 and 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come enough. But if it be of the Most High, ye cannot overthrow it. Least happily you be found even to fight against the Most High.
That's why nobody's been able to come against this doctrine. And this word is what? Tearing apart this society, literally. We did that lesson yesterday about how, the prophets and preaching this word is bringing about the end of this society. Everybody's, the Israelites are the talk of the town right now. People are trying to debunk you, try to get on board with things. Because, again, I've set forth the apostles last. The truth has been set last.
Yeah, and it said if you can't receive, if they can't receive it, thus your feet up. And that's another thing with us. They want us to bend over backwards and treat their demands. trim our ways. Oh, that's why y'all can't get nobody. Y'all can't, though yet we be rude in speech, yet not knowledge. We still got the word of the Heavenly Father. It don't matter how it's packaged them to you. But most people, they're in a world where everything is what? Softened down. Feminism is at an all-time high. And can't nobody receive no goddamn thing, man.
Hey, fuck views.
Yeah, we good with that too. Because again, a man that's in that has a reputation for wisdom, just a little bit can make him look crazy, man. So we stay within the boundaries and the borders of what? Doing what the Lord said to do, man. To the best of our abilities. And we good, man.
And Luke Yahushua said, those things that are highly esteemed amongst men are despised by the Most High. So everything these people look to for self-esteem, reputation, and clout, it's all vain and nothing. This society is literally collapsing all around our feet. But the majority of these people out here are still concerned about a goddamn TikTok channel.
Consolation. The Lord said he dealt with a man that's of a broken spirit and a contrite heart. We have went into repent mode, and we like, damn, we went off against the Lord, man. So it's our duty to do, not just come do the work, but also work ourselves in our repentance, man, that we could get mercy in him, man.
You know? In Philippians, in the Lord's absence, we're subject to doing what? Working out our calling and election by way of fear and trembling. You know? And that's what the world can't do. The world can't humble themselves and, say the hell what their own personal feelings is and serve Yahweh Shah. Because at the end of the day, we're only here to do the will of the Lord. And that's it. That's it. Ecclesiastes say what? The whole duty of man. It's the fear of the Lord. These niggas don't fear the Lord.
What's that saying? Jake got in the world facts over feelings. But when you actually come with the facts, Jake gets in his feelings. So it's really feelings over facts with these moist niggas out here.
Everything upside down anyway.
Exactly.
You gotta approach everything from a different angle, man. The hell with this, man. We just want righteousness with each other.
And it's quickly returned. And you err not knowing the scriptures, thinking that, and you err not knowing the scriptures, thinking, that the men of the Lord are gonna come yoked out with golden armored garments and a lined up throws. We ain't coming in that IUIC spirit. We're coming in the spirit of that 1 Corinthians.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 25. It says, because foolishness of the Most High is wiser than men, and the weakness of the Most High is stronger than men.
And we know that there's nothing weak or foolish about the Lord. But even the lowest things of the Lord is still better than anything a man walking this earth, past, present, or future, can do. Showing you how insignificant, the vain opinions and the ways of man are.
Verse 26, it says, for ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called.
From these scientists, these athletes, these presidents, these people that Jake looks up to. Oh, he's on TV. He's got letters behind his name, but he's not preaching the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So everything is in vain that he's doing. And he probably has a bottle of baby oil in his back pocket.
This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 6. It says, for though a man be so never perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, you shall be nothing regarded.
Ooh, nothing regarded, straight to the point. If he's wise and look at these people in America. What are they concerned about? Social media, they can't tell a boy from a girl, a man dresses like a woman. You still think voting matters in 2025? You got the C19 juice, and these are the people like you were playing those lawyer commercials with Jake dancing for Morris Bart or whatever. That's the people that scoff against the truth. Some buck dancing, blonde weave wearing, tight pants and ankle having nigger.
He got on a Dwayne Johnson, the Rock Johnson shirt, long sleeve silk shirt,
and a Milli Vanilli haircut in 2025. That's the people that are coming against this truth. Hence, why whenever they come up against us, they end up being made to look like fools. Because that's all you are, is a bunch of fools out here. Keep going up,
It's 27. It says, but the Most High had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And the Most High had chosen weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
A bunch of, as you would put it in society, a bunch of broke, angry, poor black men, Spits, Latinos, whatever you want to call us, the lowest of society. That is who the Lord has chosen to confound the wise. Here you have scientists and doctors and teachers coming up, getting cut up. You got it to the point to where these pastors with reputations go on panels and say, "Look, they're not right, but we can't combat anything they're saying."
That's forgivable.
Hey, the
the
brothers then debated, debated the chat GPT and confounded the fucking computer, man. All right? We like back in the day, we used to bring it out near Rice University, and I'm talking about fuck them people up, man. Even the apostles that went on Yale University, Columbia University, and they debated them, and they didn't come out victorious, man, because these people don't know shit. The people that you look down on, the underdogs of this world, are really the men that the Lord set up. Not no fucking professor, not no scholar. This time they don't know. A lot of them dudes make so-called educated guesses. Right?
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis and shit, man.
A hypothesis. And what's crazy is, what are the movies people like the most out here? Movies where the underdog wins. But when it comes to actual real life, they're against it. Because you're a bunch of phonies and hypocrites. And cowards, too.
Depending on who the underdog is.
Yeah, that too.
Verse 28, it says, 1 Corinthians 1 and 28, it says, and base the things of the world and things which are despised hath the Most High Yahweh chosen. Yea, and the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
The things which are not, us as Israelites being the lowest in society, bringing to naught the things that are. By us simply preaching this word, Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. By us simply. What's up?
This nigga got a Riviera. You missed it though. Go ahead.
By us simply preaching the word, it's taken down Esau's society. Not all that Black Panther marching, holding the guns, or rioting, or protesting has done. Anything carnal has not done this, but the words and the spirit of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has, through his vessels. Which, all throughout the scriptures, the Lord says to not look upon the appearance of man, but look what's inside that man, that spirit.
Yeah, because like you went into a moment ago, the Lord's not, you said Yahweh Shai is a plain man, that the men of the Lord are going to be looking like men, just regular men. We're not going to be jacked up. We're not going to have, they're looking for the perfect
Package.
Yeah, you gotta be this high, this tall. His hair gotta be like this. You gotta have smooth, clear, iridescent skin.
Cat eyes.
Iridescent is crazy.
Iridescent skin. That's how the niggas think though, man. How the women think,
It's like on some of these red pill channels, the 3 6s that these women look for. And was it a 666? He gotta be 6 feet. Have the 6-pack and the 6 figures.
And they don't got six.
They don't got nothing. Yeah. Them hoes working that subway, man.
Them hoes work for six.
And slinging nothing but ice cream.
6 an hour.
Yeah, man. But he had the perfect package, man. He dropped a Kia Forte and on Section 8.
Looking like a can of busted biscuits.
Yeah. Looking like a roadkill. When they take all that makeup and all that other shit off, man.
Think you go into bed with a bad hoe, but you wake up to a crack hoe.
Yeah, a whole bat you wake up to, man. A gorilla.
A glorilla.
Yeah. Megan the Monster.
Big ass feet.
You niggas out there that love these hoes, man, you gonna find out the hard way too. These BBL baddies, man. These bitches walking hydrogel, man. All right, like that nigga Zion Williams. You a nasty nigga. You a freaky nigga, man. You fucking, this whole ass is long and wider than 9-10. You fucking with that,
She built like a Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, the men of ancient time wouldn't even fuck with none of these women, man. You mess with a broad that personally, publicly put all her assets out there You know, all her ass, her titties. You know, just everything is out there in the open, man. Who wants to deal with a woman like that? And everybody that had and seen.
Stop.
Yeah,
On public display.
yeah.
And she have ruined his damn life, man.
Man, that nigga ruined his own life.
Well, that too. But dealing with that, he you know, that man multi-million. He was set up with Jacob said in this society. Now, because of a rumor or whatever it is, guess what? Suck him dry, man.
Yeah.
He gonna be out the league. Next thing you know, you ain't gonna hear him. He gonna be a loser.
Travis Hunter too.
He another nigga. Oh, man. Next thing you know, nigga, alcoholic.
Yeah, under the bridge.
What that nigga Justin? Put up the latest picture of Justin Blackman. Man, that nigga through. Justin Blackman, the nigga played wide receiver for the Jaguars back in the day.
Delonte West too.
He just got in trouble again, man. Right? That's how you end up when you fuck with these broads, man. You end up looking like Jaheim.
When they want to.
He just went to jail for animal cruelty, man. You saw a picture of him?
Yeah, I be
That's the interval.
Yeah. Hey, man. Yes. Look, that's how you end up. This nigga takes out of the rest.
Yo.
He looked like somebody.
Look at this. Go ahead. That's how you end up, man.
Old chicken bro.
You're an NFL first round pick, star wide receiver, and then your end is looking like that, man. It's like a walking balloon.
Chicken bro.
Oh yeah.
That's another one. Hey, putting that woman first.
Yeah. True, man. True.
I thought you knew.
That's what happens in the end. You put that woman first.
Hey, it says a woman will turn a man into a piece of bread.
There you go. Chicken bro. Look for animal cruelty. 2
Yeah,
days.
I seen
R&B singer Jaheim charged with animal cruelty in Atlanta. Look at him.
Hey, man. Yeah, but when you put that woman first, hey, man, you be stressed out, man. You beat a dog ass, too.
This is what the interval man look like.
Yeah, look, you beat a dog ass looking like that, man. You know?
I'm like, dude, man.
You ain't put the Most High first. Right? Even them other dudes, the KC, not the KC, what the other man.
It's done.
Niggas crazy, man. Them dudes ain't serious, man. That shit is a whole publicity stunt. They ain't serious.
Ice cream team just routed up.
Bro, we sat right there and played the tune all day.
We
Ain't nobody
played.
got it. Nobody bought an ice cream yet.
Ice cream bounce.
That shit gotta be melting, man.
You might be snatching kids up. That's how they be coming.
On the real. Traffic and
You
the
like at what's up with it, like hour 41.
Come on, this 1 Samuel 16 and 7. It says, start at 5. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eli, and said, surely Yahweh's anointed is before him. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh said not as man said, for man looking on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looking on the heart.
And that's a beautiful account because who was he talking about? King David. King David, what he was in dealing with the sheep. I believe it was the sheep, and he was dirty when he came in.
Yeah.
He came in lowly, but look what happened. He became, the king of Israel. A man after the Most High's heart. And what are the elect called? The house of David. So we're coming in that same spirit, low and meekly and low, and what? Dealing with the sheep. As Yahweh Shai said, fill my sheep. And as, David was taken out of that low position, what? He took down Goliath, which, America is an example of Goliath today, which we're taking, what did he hit Goliath with? That stone. And what are we doing? We're a great millstone, coming with that spiritual millstone to take down this Goliath. And then, hey, we're going to be glorified, being joint heirs with Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, sitting on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Even after that account with what you just said,
David.
with David doing that to Goliath, what he then began to do, he started to subdue all the other nations too. Because a lot of people just think, oh, well, we're going to just get Esau. No, we putting everybody. We start with you, devil. We're going to bind y'all kings up with fetters, the rulers of the earth. And then the Lord took many crowns, man. So everybody get put into subjection. David put everybody in subjection so that Solomon could rule and peace, which was a prelude of our kingdom. Yahushua gonna put all our enemies down, and then we gonna be able to rule in peace better, man.
Moab is my washpot.
Yep.
Over Edom have I cast my shoe.
Yep.
We'll go over that too one day. But David had what? David had 5 stones that he used. And like I said, power had to be given to those stones through faith, man. It's a lot. You can go into that too.
That's a highly
account.
You know?
Yeah, he said, you come at me. He said, you come at me with swords and buckler, but I come in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So really, what killed Goliath was the faith David had, and that's what we doing to the carnal man. Our faith don't really overcome the devil, man.
While Saul and his armies were afraid of Goliath in a carnal sense.
Yeah,
but David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
That defile the name of the armies of the Lord. Yep.
I come in the name of my power.
That's why the name of the Lord is a strong tower. David ran into the name of the Lord and was safe ever since, man. That's why he's a man after the Most High heart, man. And I don't want to reconcile. We up the tabernacle of David. The Lord is repairing them breaches, man. And now you see the men of the Lord, them mighty men standing strong. What it said, we gonna make when we believe in the Lord, it make our boldness to manifest, man. And David mighty man was bold. What his name was? Benaiah. All right, you had men that was all you heard with him is when it said his name. He said he smoked him or lay up on his neck. All you saw me was killing shit, man. You know?
What's the account when they say many are with us than with thee?
Yeah, Elijah.
Yeah.
There'll be more of us that's with us when he prayed that the Lord open the young man's eyes to see that the angels is more in number than these armies, man. Mm-hmm. So even though go ahead. Even though Esau got the military and all the devices and the duel and everything, like the Lord, like, nah, I'm the spirit of the Lord with y'all. It ain't nothing impossible with him.
You guys, going back to that Corinthians, the things which are not brought in the things which are.
Yes.
By simply preaching the word, we're chanting down Esau, Edom's kingdom. And then, as it said in 2 Thessalonians, who he shall destroy with the spirit of his mouth, and then the brightness of his coming. We're telling you the verdict Esau, and then Yahushua is going to come with that physical action.
King David, Psalm 44 chapter, just to hit back on us not trusting in carnality. He said, I will not trust in my bow, even shall my sport. Just loosely paraphrasing. Also, too, it made me think about the account in First Maccabees, I believe, like the 4th chapter when they was going up against Georges. It says they prevailed in the battle without having neither sword nor armor. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on to say what he used to motivate them. He said he reminisced about how their fathers were delivered out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing the same thing now. Not resorting to carnal matters to prevail against Esau, man.
Romans 14 chapter. 15 is what? The things written aforetime were written for our learning, that we might have patience and hope and comfort. That's what the world failed to realize. You see, we have the faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that we're going to be delivered. All right, looking back at what King David said in Psalms 34 chapter, he would have the angels to be encamped round about us. The angels here.
Right.
They,
in Ephesians, it's synonymous with David. Because remember when Saul and his brothers was trying to put on all the gear and shit, and David fell out? Yeah. David, take that off. So that's synonymous with in Ephesians when it said put on the whole armor of the Lord. So we can't really put on a vest and all that to protect against the weapons of evil. We'll get our ass to them, man. So it's spiritual, or what that armor is really what? This word, the faith, and ultimately believing in our salvation through the angels. And Yahweh shine, man. That's the whole armor. David had to take the armor off to defeat Goliath. Like physical armor. Like, man, I can't do nothing with that, man. He fell down, man. They let him come. He fell down, bro. Yeah, you got the helmet of salvation. about the going into the 5 stones and what they represent. When he, I thought, because when he defeated Goliath, it was all through faith, right? Goliath said, "I'll take you, David, and throw you to the fowls of the air." It was a lot going on right there. David called them uncircumcised, which is symbolic for what? The other nations, they can't come into the circumcision of the Lord, right? So he didn't just call him, you just, nigga, the Philistines,
filthy. Like,
you filthy. You
less than.
you outside of the temple, meaning you profane.
And you got nobody to stand up and deliver you.
At all. Because
Who's your God?
it says in First Maccabees 3 that the Lord, if you can get it, First Maccabees 3:17, that the Lord don't stand in the multitude of an host, but power come from heaven. So, though Israel was out there with an army, the Philistines had their army. Guess who delivered them? Guess who mustered the host of the whole battle? It was Yahushua. You got it? Come on, go ahead.
This is First Maccabees 3:17. It say, "Who, when thou saw the host coming to meet them,
Go up.
15.
No, it's this First Maccabees 3:19. 19. Yeah. I started at 17. Go ahead. You go ahead. Start from 17. It's still good. 19 is the point. Go ahead.
First Maccabees 3:17, it say, "Who, when thou saw the host coming to meet them,
Go ahead.
and said unto Judas, it say, how shall we be able, being so few?"
So few. How should we be able? How the men that's speaking on the word of the Lord? How are we gonna be delivered? They like, how are they counted? They light is counted amongst the saints. Then we had them in derision. Wasn't they weak and feeble? All right, go ahead, brother.
It say, to fight against so great a multitude.
Yeah, because it's not Esau likened unto Leviathan. Like, who can bring him? Who can pierce him? Right? Which is that spiritual? Because nobody can bind Leviathan. Go ahead.
It say, to fight against so great. It says, and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint.
Go ahead.
It say, with fasting.
Oh, I say, if I can say it, Proverbs 24:10, it says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small. But it all deals with faith, right? Because we can't overcome Esau. We clearly know that, according to the book of Romans 13. We can't fight incarnate. It's impossible. Go ahead.
It say, we are ready to faint with fasting all this day.
Go ahead.
It say, and to whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Yeah, in Job 34 and 29, or either 29 and 34, it says that the Lord can go up against one man or a whole nation. Right? If it's one king that's strong, the Lord can take the king down, or the whole nation. Gideon, 300.
Right? That's good. I was looking for it. I forget which chapter it is. I think it's 7.
Go ahead.
Gotta get, the last.
Yeah. This is everybody to finish this one.
It say, and with the Most High of heaven, it say, it is all one.
He just all one. He could shut up, make strong. He could take down everything. Go ahead.
It say, to deliver with a great multitude or a small companion.
Go ahead.
It say, for the victory of the battle standeth not in the multitude of a host, but strength cometh from heaven.
That's why the Lord gonna get the glory, because when He take down this system, everybody gonna look like there's no way they could be defeated. Esau looking like gods out here, man, to people. Like, man, this man got so much devices and all kind of weapons and futuristic weapons, military firepower. It's like that. God Himself. People say that God Himself can't take him now. Like the Titanic, man.
Revelation 13, the miracles He did in the side of the beast to make people wander after the image and make an image to it. Exactly. Make fire come down from heaven.
He gonna do some miraculous things that people gonna be like, this man is God. All those who don't know who the Heavenly Father is, obviously.
You got Edomites that sit down, and it's a video. When you look at it, it's an Edomite sat down with a 12 gauge, turned that bit this way.
Oh yeah, we know that. He always talk about it. And live.
Who did that though? Who constructed that?
Who constructed that?
So he can have niggas kill themselves off.
That's spiritual. What he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. By Esau's own sword, that's going to lead to his destruction.
Shit, man, blood.
Ain't that same devil from the 1880s and shit. Right, this devil has become weak. Right. Look at the curse that was on him now. He's on child support. He's on all manner of drugs. Right. This devil has pretty much been brought low. That's why we're able to do this work because, we always say, 40, 50 years ago, we wouldn't be able to do this.
With a hunger.
They hungry on
Don't ever come in this area.
You know, this devil has become weak.
Yeah.
The power that he has with the weaponry is starting to diminish, man. Right? The left hand magic he has is starting to quickly leave him. You can see it. That's why when he tries to do certain mock attacks and shit, everybody seen it. That's AI. That's why brothers gotta watch this AI shit because you gotta second guess every story now, man. Me myself, I fell victim to that shit, thinking that shit real. Then they come to find out you fact check the shit, it's not even true. And this devil has got it to where it's looking fucking real. The video, it's like you'd be looking at a woman, damn. It's all fucked up. They can join it. They can move this way in the back of the whatever. You know? But you gotta watch this shit, man. You can't believe all this shit. Because they got real quick, they got people out here. They got people out here that's doing the TikToks and shit. They got people out here purposely doing misinformation just for views and likes, just for you to subscribe to their page and shit, man. And this shit don't even be true. But it brings forth drama. It brings forth suspense and people to come check it out, man. Go ahead, what you got?
I was just gonna say, and that's just the AI we see. For all we know, everything we're watching on the mainstream news is just AI generated.
That shit fake too, man.
We don't, ain't.
Everybody's playing.
This is our news. And we good. Prophecy is our news. We don't really need Esau to show us anything. We believe, when it said that the prophets from the east, they believe without even seeing bodily eyes, but yet they gonna believe it. So we believe in the spirit of prophecy, which is Yahweh Shai, and we got the news. It's not just the good tidings, like you said. We got the good news. We good.
They didn't find out. They didn't find out. In some cases, those people that you see on TV are not even real people. They're generated. All their people that have been deceased for years.
A green screen is it?
Yeah, that's what I say. This devil, he don't even need crisis actors no more. He can literally punch in. Like I got an app on my phone that I can type what I want. I can type and really hit a button for Donald Trump. I can make Donald Trump's voice say anything I want.
That's how they making songs now too.
Yeah. But I got a video. It's a video out there that I have on my phone. I can't get it right now. It's a video out there where I remember back then when you had the first Metal Gear Solid, they talked about AI and how it's gonna run the society, how it's gonna manipulate mass media and news on purpose. It was on that. Well,
that was in Metal Gear Solid 2. You found out that the whole person you were doing a mission for was an AI program.
Yeah.
And it was called the Simulation for a Sane Society.
And then the AI, when the two guys having a conversation, like me and you having a conversation, AI cuts in and overtalks both of them and say, yeah, this is what I'm doing. The computer, the robot itself. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's gonna be hella to the captive. It's AI right now, but they get that
artificial general intelligence.
Yeah, it's over with. And that computer's able to think and make logical decisions on his own. It's over with out here.
That's like the one. Remember when you said you gonna go to the doctor and then the AI gonna make the prognosis for you? Like doctor gonna tell you, and the AI come in. Well, look, you kind of sick right here. Whatever.
Yeah,
remember the one? He gonna override actually human intelligence, which that's what been projected to people. Surgery, yeah, just sit here.
Fucking robot arms and shit.
Yeah.
They don't need. Hey, you niggas finna lose jobs, man. They don't need niggas to drive 18 wheelers no more. The 18 wheelers go from one coast to the other.
Trucks. Yeah.
Same thing, niggas, the doctors, everybody finna lose, man. This was this finna be some real life RoboCop shit. You finna let these RoboCops be out here. And they already look at you niggas like the computer's gonna be racist towards you.
They already said facial recognition falsely misidentifies people of color. But when it comes to Edomites, it can get them right.
You gonna just look at you and say, talk.
They
Ray gonna start. He gonna start malfunction.
They show you that too in the movie They Live. The RoboCop stuff.
Like that on Predator.
Yeah, exactly.
RoboCop, isn't it?
Hostile.
Hostile. Yeah.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
This nigga gonna pull out something.
It's just forever coming out. That bitch is forever coming out.
Half his leg is gonna pull that bitch.
That nigga had two of them bitches too.
Come out his leg.
That was RoboCop?
Oh, yeah. He was this big.
Automatic pistol.
Boy, that bitch was this big.
Hey, go watch
We
RoboCop.
on that bitch jumping. I say, boy.
And Judge Dredd, that show you how the white man get down, boy.
Judge Dredd gun could shoot 5 different explosive bullet, a fire bullet, automatic.
Well, they gonna have they got
That nigga
guns. When you
weak.
sin, you gonna die.
That
Like, when
nigga-
I hit the street, you just gonna die out,
Judge
man.
Dredd had that booty chin, and that nigga was mean as a motherfucker.
He just always had that snarl on his face.
Yeah, I think
Sylvester
the long
Stallone.
play the nigga.
That was it. Yeah. That's Rocky.
Punching
And he was standing there with them the knee-high ass boots and his hands on his
He saw his future. You remember that? That was the future.
After nuclear war, you know, they lived in mega cities, smart cities.
Yeah.
They were eating recycled food, bugs and shit.
That movie 2073, it shows that this place is completely overtaken by military state. No, it's all military. Yeah, everywhere. Drones, everywhere on everything. It's just totally locked down. But they say that's 2073. That's
Why you get fucked with that nigga, man?
a year and a half. Oh yeah, boy, they had a recall on that motherfucker. Wait, that bitch come out.
You're holding up in the fingers like
Hey, you think Paul shit was
Hey, Chicago, Bill Monty guy, he pulled one.
you know, what? And the thing, when we was looking at each other with the shit, that big motherfucking fire coming from that hole, like, God damn. That motherfucking recall jumped back. Here I did hit. Man, come on, man. The hole in Jake is fucking big, man.
Any other brothers got any precepts they want to bring out?
In 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17, it says, "For our light affliction is but for a moment, working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal."
We seek a continuing city. Hey, where there is no vision, the people perish. The prophets are visionaries. We can see this place coming to an end before it started coming to an end by our faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Just as David knew he was going to defeat Goliath.
What it says, a righteous man foresee the evil and hide itself. So we hide ourselves. That's what we out here to tell you. We got to tell you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, that imminent danger is set on its way, right? And that you need to hide yourself in the forge and hide yourself after the Lord, man, in these scriptures. Other than that, you're going to be taken out, man. You know?
By that slayer with that glittering sword. And he's got his arm caught. He's pulling it out of the sheath right now.
He don't battle sword in vain. He created Smiths to blow the coals in the fire. His own, brother. Buttons getting pushed. Hey, come on, bro.
What they call him?
Push the goddamn button.
I'm going to hit the button. I got that button on.
Got that button on.
That was nigga saying in New Orleans, I got that button on. Well, his button's going to be way superior than your niggas. You niggas still fucking with high points, man. What's wrong with you niggas?
Man, this shit was lasers.
$50 fucking gun. I ain't bad. That's an ugly ass
A Timu gun.
That been like a catfish.
I'm saying, you listen to most of these niggas talk about, all the niggas talk about is a high point and a Kel-Tec. I would never trust that shit in my life if I had to, man.
Jay gonna do it black.
Gun without a forward sight on it. The Timu gun.
Yeah, niggas go get the clips off Amazon, man. What's wrong with you niggas?
They skill colors.
Yeah, this is a 50-round mag. Man, that bitch off Amazon.
That bitch fall out. That bitch fall out.
That's some true niggas. Niggas gonna get them true glow fucking sights. I seen an old man at the range. I got a video of that shit. It's an old man range. This nigga had every accessory you could know the man on one gun. That gun had to be at least 50 pounds. Nigga had a PPL scope, a red dot, scope on top of that bitch, 2 lights. Nigga had a bunch of shit.
A bipod. Probably had a cool on that bitch.
Yeah, he got that nigga. Like you go on Call of Duty, you put on break, you only have a limited amount.
Yeah, you
That
got
nigga put a shoulder into all of it. Yeah, tripping, man.
But hey, back in that.
He saw got the shit though. He saw got the shit that gonna get the job done. You niggas spin the block with them little rag ass pictures and shit. He saw got some shit that gonna lift the dust off the ground.
knock states out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just from the farm. He saw the drone drop.
I was watching some shit.
Knock states out the way.
I was watching that show Modern Weapons. It come on TV and Esau was showing some gun at I was watching old boy too. Kim Jong-un got a badass train. That boy got a train. He be going back and forth to Russia. He got a badass train. That motherfucker got all type of guns come out that bitch. He got like 50 cal come on the side, guards, all type of shit. But they were talking about, Esau was talking about this one guy. He's like, yeah, I can go spin a block. He literally said a block. Like in America, he said, I'll wipe out the whole block of this bitch. It was like an M249 or some shit.
Automatic.
Like he had those. Remember we watching Escape from Turkov? Motherfucker had bullets that big and shooting shit. You know what I'm saying? You see, he liked that clip on Escape from Turkov.
Yes.
That bitch hit one nigga from one side of the car though,
And
went
it
through,
went behind.
and he had him flying like this.
He was standing behind that bitch. It went through the car and took him off his feet, right? It went through the car.
The other one, the other dude slid and hit by the concrete barrier. That bitch put massive holes in that bitch.
Yes.
He still got the, hey man, he
all the fights.
all the fights, man.
He a weapon. He a spear. He was created to be a spear, man.
He's
The
the sword.
Norman on.
He's the sword of the Lord.
He the sword of the Lord, man.
Lord, and Yahweh's what? Abishai, the king of terrors. And he about to come down in that great wrath. That's why we don't have faith in this society. We seek the kingdom to come. And we know that if we stay faithful to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, what? We have that chance of having that headship about us and you know, making it through. But as for you niggas out here, you wanna vote and get caught up. Yeah, you're gonna get caught up, you're gonna get busted up, you're gonna get assed up. Hey, everything gonna be up there, stuff there. Good riddance. Hashtag black fatigue, like it ball tea.
Good luck.
And then what happened? He came down and said,
He killed everybody. Good luck.
coming like Liam Neeson. Yeah. But any brothers have closing points on the man? Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Aklak were edified by another live camp. And before we get out of here, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors
to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May your brothers endure to the end. A Baba Ball.
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 Baba Ball.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah.